Welcome back to the Overheard Podcast, recorded live in Banff. My name is Daniel Ruedl. With me always my co-host,
Matty Rage. Let's go.
Let's go. If it's your first time joining us, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. We check out the analytics every week. We find about 70% of people are joining in for the first time. So don't be shy to hit that like and subscribe and join us on this journey. Our guest today, Derek Turcotte. Thank you so much for joining us. We're here at Electric Grizzly Tattoo in Canmore. So before we get too far into things, let's check in with our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Drink Shaft.
Winter in Banff hits different. Cold air, frozen mornings, and that brief stillness before the day kicks off. Fuel your early starts with Drink Shaft, the non-alcoholic, all-natural espresso energy drink made for mountain days and the longer ones around the house or the office. Find Drink Shaft in over 1,000 stores across Western Canada. Grab one before you head out on your next adventure. Remember that seasons change, but Drink Shaft, it always stays the same.
All right, we're back, baby.
All right, we are back. Thank you all so much for joining us today. If you don't know who Derek is, you might have been living under a rock. Derek has been drawing for as long as he can remember, picking up painting in his early teens before diving seriously into airbrushing and acrylic work at 18. Right around the same time, he began his tattoo career. In his early 20s, he apprenticed under Crosseyed Airbrushing, learning the finer points of the craft on motorcycles and steel. Those technical foundations still show up in his work today, translated into canvas through layered acrylics and brushwork. As the style evolved, so did the scale. Derek's projects have grown larger and more detailed and far more time extensive, and these days, he focuses on a smaller number of major pieces and commissions each year. As you can see behind us, there's some wild artwork in this place. Also a pro team member with Cheyenne Tattoo Equipment, as well as Fusion Inc., also the owner of Electric Grizzly Tattoos, where we're sitting here today, a custom tattoo shop he founded in Canmore, Alberta, where he lives with his family right here in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. So let's get right into it.
Sounds good, man.
You've been drawing since childhood, as long as you can remember. Is there a moment where art kind of stopped feeling as a hobby and something as like more of who you were?
I guess like since I was a kid, I've always drawn, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, it always kind of felt like a part of who I was, or like I guess the drive to create always felt like part of who I was. But yeah, I think when I started like tattooing as a career and in my mid-20s, maybe it started to feel like more like an identity of like a larger part of my life, I guess, right?
Was there a moment where like you knew that you could make a living from your art?
When I started tattooing, it was, I was 18. I was just a kid, right? So it's like became more of an adult and like cared more about like getting a car, like paying bills, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then I started to realize like, oh man, maybe this isn't something I'm just doing in the meantime till I find out what I want to do with my life. It's actually like, it's becoming my life. And tattooing as a whole, like just through mainstream media and I think social media and everything, it actually blew up kind of as I was learning too, right? So since I started like over 20 years ago, it's changed like dramatically, really, right? So
100%. Even just like socially and being accepted, tattoos in the last 20 years have gotten, I don't know, way more accepted. You see celebrities covered in tattoos now,
for sure.
Which you didn't really see that in the 80s.
No.
Even in the early 90s. I feel like the early 90s was kind of like that transition point.
I've had jobs before where they're like, you got to cover your arms, man. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm working in a butcher shop, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I'm literally butchering meat for a living, and they're like, hey, you just got to cover your arms.
Yeah.
It's like, and that was like early 2000s, like mid 2000s.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like social acceptability really, right? Has changed on a large scale for sure. So
100%.
How would you say your style's changed even over like the past like 10 years? Because you've been doing it, what, 20 years now? Something like that?
I apprenticed in Ontario, like as a kid, I was like 18. But yes, I'd say in Banff, where I like truly started kind of, it was a walk-in shop, right?
Okay.
So a lot of it was based on like
Flash
just
and,
Flash, what walked in the door, like a lot of like small scale or like souvenir type stuff in Banff, right?
Yeah, the classic like mountain on the hand.
Yeah, Three Sisters, whatever, this type of stuff, right? Maybe more Rundle.
Yeah, the Rundle range
for Cascade. Sure. But yeah, so it went from that to like starting to develop actual clientele and like people coming back specifically for me, not just, or like for my work, not just hey, this is just a random Banff tattoo, right?
Yeah.
So I think it came from there. And then my style, I'd say, just as I learned more the craft of tattooing, I'd say, because I always felt like I could draw and paint what I wanted, like what I could achieve, like, or what I could see in my, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like creatively.
You could like reproduce it if you can kind of think about it, right?
Yeah, but then tattooing was definitely like, oh, sorry, man. Tattooing was definitely like a way steeper learning curve.
Oh yeah, it's like a totally different.
Yeah, like there's so many more elements on skin, dealing with people, and just the technology of tattooing, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah, so I think it took me a lot longer to feel confident, like this is what I want to produce, and then to actually be able to bring that to life, right?
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
yeah.
How was that learning curve for you, like switching from, say, canvas or airbrushing or motorcycles to skin? Because like you just mentioned, obviously totally different medium, huge steep learning curve. What are some of the particulars? Like obviously how skin moves, how skin reacts, like
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it could be even like because we live in a more dry atmosphere here. So like,
right.
Yeah,
Really?
like, yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
like, how dry Alberta is. So it's like it affects like the elasticity of someone's skin.
Oh, crazy.
Stuff like that.
I mean, I guess it would affect the healing process too, right?
Yeah,
Like
it can affect the healing. Even just while you're tattooing, like how easy it is to saturate something or like apply the tattoo. But yeah, man, the 3D nature of tattooing, the pain element, obviously, like for some people they have a really high pain tolerance. For other people, they have like virtually none, right? So it's like trying to work with people like that, be understanding, have empathy, but also be like, man, I have to get through this. You obviously have an expectation of what you want, but yeah, you can't be. It's like if you're moving and it's like tattooing on a roller coaster, that makes my job tough, right?
Yeah,
I have one tattoo.
Yeah,
and
nice. What
is
it?
It's on my ribs. It's brass knuckles. It's it's an old school style tattoo. And I remember the artist when he put it on me. He was like, "Man, you're gonna have to stop moving."
Suck, dude.
And I was just like, at one point it was not the most pleasant experience.
Ribs are tough
for
too, man.
sure.
Yeah,
that was my thought. Was I was gonna get the hardest place first, and then the others would seem
then
easy.
Keep going.
But I never,
never did.
More.
Just stopped you dead in your tracks.
That's it.
Like, that's good.
Honestly, I think like financially, it's just like my focus shifted over the years because it is like a financial endeavor, especially if you want.
That's
good
another
art.
Yeah, and that's another huge part of it too. Is it's a luxury, right? It's not something we need.
Yeah.
Like maybe for a heavy collector, like you know, because in tattooing, it's like same as the art world. You get people that'll like fly all over the world and collect from artists, right?
That's
it's really cool, man. It didn't. It wasn't always like that, but it's
No,
become
no
that, right? Like, and. But it's a luxury industry, man. So we're a pretty good dial on like if the economy's not amazing, then it's like, you're gonna see it in tattooing for sure, right?
That's a very fair point. Kind of people will spend money on tattoos when they have an abundance of money.
Yeah,
but if you
can't pay your rent, buy groceries or gas, man, it's gonna make getting even though it is permanent, right? So you're investing in yourself, kind of, and in like cosmetic, like how you look, how you appear to yourself, or it can be like a confidence thing too and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely a luxury item.
We'll definitely touch on that a little bit with I don't know, we'll ask some questions on like why people have been tattooing themselves for so long. But before we get into that, we have a couple examples of your artistic style behind us. How would you describe your artistic style to someone who's never seen your art?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Bold, I guess. Yeah, I try to achieve like super high contrast images, like something. If you walk in from a door like 20 feet away, I want people to be like, look at it. And even if you can't tell 100% what it is, they can be like, whoa, like, what is that? You know?
So like, what are some of the techniques that you use to achieve that high saturation, that high color? Because that's what makes it really pop. Like your art, like it has its style. It's
like a sticker, like kind of look to it or something. Yeah, just most of that's like technical application. For sure, like the ink I use, finding stuff with like a high amount of like pigment in it and high chroma, so like bright colors, but also how colors work together. Like if you have like a full and I used to just pack like a million colors into a tattoo and think that looked awesome. And then as my art's progressed, I've realized like that's actually way less effective than having like colors that work together, complementary or whatever, and then they build like one image that's way more powerful, right?
Interesting.
And say like more muted tones can actually make your like accent, like where you are using a bright color, that's gonna like bring more focus to that point, right? Like a focal point. Yeah, but for sure, I think just like a lot of it's just like over the years technical application is, and then just the scale of my work.
Yeah.
Like I try to just go like big and bold with everything.
Nice.
Where I think when I started, I just didn't have that, I guess, approach or knowledge even maybe, but I'd just try pack like way too many details in. And I think I've simplified my work a lot too.
I think it comes with time to realize that less is more, maybe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, experience for sure, man. And I think even when I was like a teenager kid, I'd draw like crazy. Like I'd use a mechanical pencil.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, same. Yeah.
And I'd just get like so close, man. And I'd just be like putting in like every crazy little detail I could think of, and then, you know, it took me a while to realize like, yeah, tattooing, you don't actually have to do that, right?
So yeah, definitely like your art style has kind of progressed through the mediums as well,
Yeah,
you could say.
yeah. I'd say tattooing's changed my approach to art for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about people that say like bright colors in tattoos tend to fade? Like you're not scared to jump in there with some bright colors. Is that something that needs more work over time to like keep up with a piece?
Yeah, man, it can. Like, you know, I've seen some pieces after like 15, 20 years that look awesome, and some that, have aged not as awesome. Right? So I think a lot of that can be skin type, how people maintain their tattoos. Like, it's like anything. If you don't care for it, it's not going to care for you, right?
That was kind of my next question, right? Like if it's, say, on a place of the body that gets a lot more sun or, you know, as someone say, the body changes over the years, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
it stretches and moves over time.
For sure. Yeah, man. Like, you know, just like basic stuff. It sounds pretty cliche, but obviously just like covering up in the sun or using sunscreen, like that's going to help the age of your skin in general. So basically it's like if you take care of your skin, you're taking care of your tattoos.
Interesting. Yeah. Fair.
And if you don't really give a shit, then it's probably going to show in your tattoos, right? So, and just overall health actually makes like a huge difference in how your skin appears, right? It's your largest organ.
100%.
So yeah, if you're a decently healthy person, usually your skin's going to show that, you know?
Dude, funny enough, this might be like a little gross to say, but when I used to drink heavy, I used to get like really bad acne in like my armpits and stuff. And that's something since I quit drinking and like I don't get that at all anymore.
Yeah,
it's like basically a skin. I don't know. Maybe my skin was trying to tell me that I wasn't taking care of myself.
For sure,
like,
man. It's an organ, so it's basically like your outward appearance of your internal systems, right?
For sure, it's gonna like manifest what's wrong or like show you signs when something's wrong for it. For sure,
too much tequila, bro.
Too much tequila.
Amongst other
Said no
things.
one ever, but no,
dude. Trust me, too much.
I feel it for sure.
So let's get into why do you think people have been tattooing themselves and modifying their bodies for so long? In my research, I found that Otzi the Iceman was the first ever instance or the oldest instance, I guess, of actual tattoos being found on a mummified body. It was found in the Alps over 5,300 years ago and had over 60 distinct tattoos of lines and crosses.
Cool, man.
So why do you think
crazy.
people have been doing this literally since we've been walking the earth?
Yeah, that's rad. I think it's like, especially back then, I think it largely had to do with like rites of passage, maybe like that transition from like youth to like adulthood, or like you accomplish like a feat or something, like as a guy, like maybe more of a man or something, you know, like something like this, or just like, I think becoming an adult, I think it's signified like a rite of passage and like an accomplishment, maybe
for sure,
or something.
A little more ritualistic instead of like
ritualistic,
cosmetic, maybe.
For sure. I think the cosmetic part is as like a sign of like accomplishment, maybe in that situation, something like that.
Like if you look throughout different cultures, like Polynesian specifically, right? Like as they transition into you know, adulthood, they tattoo their faces. Certain tattoos represent certain things. Yeah, so, you know, again, possibly what was happening 5,000 years ago, which is crazy to think about. Right?
Yeah. And I think individualism, man. Like
100%.
I think it's always been a way people can express themselves to look different and to I think we mentioned earlier, maybe just like to give people confidence. Now, way more cosmetic. It's about collecting art. It's about maybe giving you confidence. It can be a memorial thing, like a remembering something important, or important, like something important in your life that you accomplished, or whatever, right? Like a family member that you love, that you want to, you know, tribute to. So I think it can be so many things, man. But I think that's the reason why it's become so popular too.
For sure. And again, like the acceptance, the social acceptance, I think came from military service, right? Like a lot of people tattooed. I think of my grandfather who had a tattoo on his forearm, which was like, he got it in the Navy, right? One of the merchant sailors. So I think that softened kind of the look. It became more accepted in that sense, right? Once it became applied to
military, naval, stuff like that, for sure, man. So unfortunately, it's always had a connotation to, and it has come from like a criminal background, like at least in our century. It's been like, you know, Yakuza in Japan, stuff like that.
Very true, yeah.
It's been like...
Because in their culture, it's like super taboo to have tattoos, and you'll see full body suits under...
Yeah,
and they cover them up, like,
and they're like, it's beautiful artwork. It's it's unreal. Amazing, like their understanding of flow, and even like what each aspects of, say, their bodysuit represents, and like, say you can have like a certain flower, but you can't put another subject with it because they're in a different season. So very cool. How something flows like up an arm wouldn't make sense, so you have to make it flow. You know, I don't do Japanese, so but the amount of like thought and I guess like same thing, the ritual type traditions through it is really cool, right?
Traditions is a good way to put it, right? Like say that. Like now that you mention it, it makes sense. You never see the water flowing, say, up someone's arm, and water, I think, is one that they normally have.
Yeah, water, wind, like they do a lot of elements, and then it's a lot of like mythology stuff with like dragons, koi fish, phoenix. You know, like it's super cool symbolism, but it all has meaning to them. And then as an artist, they train like their apprentice system is like next level. It's wild, right? Like here, it's like. It's so different in North America compared to somewhere like Japan, right? So, but I mean...
So very localized kind of apprentice styles, or is that... Or is it like pretty much North America and then like...
It's more just like the commitment level.
Yeah.
Like when you apprentice under like a master in, say, like a place like Japan, it's crazy. Like even my understanding is pretty limited compared to like some of my buddies or whatever, right? But yeah, it's just like the commitment of like to your master, the person that your mentor is like, it's wild, man, for sure. So
what was your apprentice experience like? Was it pretty militant, or was it?
I mean, like my airbrush apprenticeship, he was a cool dude. He gave me like I said, I apprenticed for tattooing and airbrushing.
Okay.
The guy that apprenticed me for tattooing, like I still see him around conventions. Like, it's
he's still around.
He's still around. He tattoos in BC now.
Oh, sick.
But he's a cool dude, man. And it was a cool apprenticeship. Like I was just a kid, right? So I was 18. I stumbled into it. I was taking it about as serious as like anything you take when you're 18.
You
know? I was like, he also got me into like snowboarding, skateboarding. You can cut this part, but he's like, you can't complete your apprenticeship till you, you know, like that.
Yeah.
So he was like a cool dude, man. But also, I think I ended up getting fired. That was in Ontario. Yeah, it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me because it forced me to be like, hey, man, I'm going to go out west. And I was seeing this dude's airbrush work in like the Airbrush magazine I had a subscription to.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's in Calgary. Like maybe if I go out there, can try learn from that dude, right? So, but the original guy in Ontario, Sai was his name. He got me into airbrushing too because he was dabbling in airbrushing.
Yeah. Cool.
So, man, as much as like maybe technically I had to like come out here and like expand obviously and explore because he was pretty self-taught as well. He got me into everything, so I always give him props, man.
Yeah,
because he gave a kid a chance that, you know, like I think I had like a pretty good sketchbook. And he could recognize like I had like a passion and maybe not like necessarily a skill for it, but I was like driven.
Cool.
But yeah, he gave me a chance, man. So
that leads me to like how much of it do you think is pure skill and how much of it do you think is drive?
Yeah. I don't know. I talk about that sometimes like in seminars and stuff, but I think like I didn't have the most raw potential, honestly. Like I think I did, but yeah, I think I was just willing to like work harder than like anybody else in that room. I've always had good drive, I think, and I've always been motivated. And I've even like when I couldn't produce what I was looking at in magazines and like the artists I was looking at, or still do look up to, and I was like, man, someday I want to create something like that. At the time, I was like, I don't know how, but I'm gonna keep working until I can, you know. So
And it's just like trial and error and like drawing at home. Is that
yeah,
what, like,
drawing, man,
work is?
working. There's no such thing, I don't think, as self-taught, but you can be self-directed. Right?
Interesting.
So it's like every artist I've worked beside has had an influence on me somehow, whether they were, you know, 10 years more experienced than me, 20 more years experience than me, or like an apprentice. You know, like everybody can have an impact on you. You can learn something from everybody, even if it's just mindset, I think, you know.
That's a great attitude to have, honestly, not just in tattooing, but in life,
But,
right?
I think it can work for anything, man.
Dude,
for
like,
sure.
I don't know. Like, we've talked to a lot of people in different lines of business and different lines of interest. And that's kind of an attitude that I like to keep as well. You can learn something from everyone. So
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
awesome. Whether they're, you know, like you said, even an apprentice, you come in and learn something from. That's great.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a young tattooer or apprentice or someone who's thinking about getting into the game?
I honestly would say pretty similar. Like, be teachable is huge, because that's one thing you can't teach. To be teachable,
no doubt.
right?
For sure.
So it's like, yeah, I've had a hand in obviously helping. Like, I have an apprentice that works with me now, Deeks. Yeah, like she's driven and teachable, and I've had a hand in maybe like directing other people, like helping get them to like another level of tattooing or whatever. But yeah, like if you want to learn and you're open to learning, I think that's the main thing. But then yeah, just self-drive too. Like, you have to be, and never being satisfied, man. Like, I'm still not satisfied with my work, and I'll look after I finish like a piece. I can say I'm proud of it, but it doesn't mean I'm 100% like
Interesting.
Satisfied.
You're still your own biggest critic in a sense.
Yeah, I would
Right.
say that if you're looking at getting into tattooing too, is like, it's kind of a life of self-hatred.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds terrible, and I'm a pretty positive dude, so it's not. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, you're always comparing because it's a visual medium, right? And we're 100%. Like, it's a job where you're 100%, like, you can't really fake it. It's like,
Yeah, no doubt.
If you suck, you suck.
Yeah, if-
People
yeah,
know
yeah.
it.
it's very visual, and it's walking around in front of you, right?
Yeah.
And like, we're driven by what we produce.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, it keeps you humble for sure.
Big time.
So especially at the start.
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Can you take us through your progression from kind of smaller walk-in style shops like we were discussing earlier, maybe when you started in Banff, to where you are now with commissioned full arms and legs and I don't know, what's the biggest piece you've ever done? I'm like, I got so many questions. Like,
Oh, fair. Yeah. Yeah. I think as I grew a technical understanding, so much of it's like confidence and what you can do efficiently in a certain amount of time, right? So, because you're dealing with pain and like a human canvas element, so much of the approach now, especially, is like strategic, right? So, like, what drives me now is like a lot of, like I was saying earlier, a lot of my clients are either international or they're traveling. So I have to make the most of when they're here, right? So if I book them, like, say, 3 or a 4 day session over 3 or 4 day sit, I think they come with an expectation of what something that's going to look like what I have in my portfolio, right? When I started, there was way less expectation because I didn't have that portfolio for them to be like, hey man, I want something like this. But yeah, I think as I learned and became more, as I grew technically in the craft, then that pushed me my scale of pieces and understanding like how a tattoo flows on the body, how you're working with the muscle. You're not, I can't remember who I was telling the other day, but it's like, you could do maybe not a great technical tattoo, but if the flow looks good, it can still be a good tattoo.
For sure.
You know, but say you do like the most amazing, like, portrait on someone's arm, but it has no flow and it like just looks like a sticker kind of.
It sticks out basically.
I wouldn't even call that a good tattoo, even though it's like maybe technically perfect, because it looks awkward. It doesn't like, your eye doesn't like flow through it, you know? So it's like, there's got to be that element too of like, it's not a canvas. It's a human, it's an arm, it's a leg, it's a back, it's a full body. So yeah, you want something that's actually like aesthetically pleasing and accentuates someone's, and everybody's built different, right? Everybody's body's different. So it's like, you're kind of working with that too, right? So it's like
Your canvas is literally different every time.
yeah, it's different every time. Say like the shape of someone's arm is going to be a little different, stuff like this, right? So I've finished a couple bodysuits for sure.
Full bodies.
Yeah, full bodies for
Wild.
sure. Like
Sick.
maybe not 100% what I'm doing now, like as much as like with the comic or pop culture stuff. Yeah, I've, right on one client right now, my buddy Cliff, we're doing like a half bodysuit of wildlife portraits.
Yeah,
which
nice.
is I don't do a ton of wildlife stuff now. I used to.
I have seen some of your stuff. You've won awards on wildlife stuff
Yeah, I used
before,
to
right?
really like focus on realism, wildlife, stuff like that.
That's sick.
So I still do a bit of it when it's like a large, like that's for me, that's still a super fun project just because of how big it is. He's a cool dude too, so he's like easy to work with.
Yeah, cool.
It's always jokes, just like shooting the shit when he's at the
Yeah,
shop
nice.
and stuff, right? But also, yeah, like I think he just wanted to start with the sleeve, and then he's like, "Oh man, how about the chest?" And then we did like, and then now he knows he wants like half his body, just wildlife. So we've
Awesome.
That's
obviously expanded the scope of the project. But yeah, stuff like that.
So it's kind of a two-way street, right? Like you kind of have to have a willing client that's there.
Yeah, man,
right?
and-
seeing the vision as well.
Yeah, and it's like, and somebody that's at a pretty good place in their life, like I don't know how to say it, but like has extra
Willing to invest in art.
willing to invest.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, right? Because it's like, when I was 18, 20, I wasn't getting great tattoos because I didn't really have that extra
Yeah,
cash
exactly,
either, right?
yeah,
I was
yeah.
spending it on like going out to the bar or whatever, right?
Big time.
So it's like, I guess when you prioritize art and you're ready to invest can make a huge difference.
Well, what are your thoughts on like scratcher tattoos? I feel like that's very popular amongst the young people these days. Like
Yeah.
small, not intricate tattoos, almost like
Yeah.
like jailhouse style, you would say. In
Yeah,
certain
so it's-
instances. Like,
Yeah, like
what are your thoughts on that as someone who's more like into intricate?
Yeah, it's trying to understand like whatever new generation stuff can always
Right?
be tough, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like Pete Davidson made that like super popular. Like the,
Oh, okay.
the small little multiple,
right.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah,
stickman
it's-
tattoos and stuff. Like,
Yeah, you see like a lot of it's like stick and poke
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. It's just different, right? It's achievable at that age. Will they love it later in life? Like hopefully, but maybe not. But at
Fair
least
point.
they're probably gonna be pretty easy to cover up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but I mean, yeah, like I talk about that. Like me and my wife Beth, we talk about it sometimes with our daughter as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like, is she gonna even like tattoos? Because we're both so heavily tattooed.
Yeah, fair.
Like the next generation, man, it might be a completely different thing, right?
could swing the other way. And like,
Yeah, I
because
don't know.
so many people are tattooed, it's like the rebellious thing is to not be tattooed.
Maybe, man,
You know?
right? Yeah, because our generation for sure. But yeah, I'd say like scratcher in tattooing though usually means like poorly done.
Oh, does
yeah,
it?
yeah. So like what I think
I
what
just
you're
heard it described as a style before. Like that is
Yeah.
a whole style.
I think that's an excuse for being lazy.
Damn,
But,
I just like throwing shade on a whole bunch
Yeah,
of people.
no,
Sure,
no, man, you're good.
Yeah, my
You're good.
mistake.
But yeah, I think what you're referring to more is like fine line or stick and poke tattooing. So it's like, but it's a different world. Like you can literally order a whole tattoo setup off like Temu or
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah,
so
no
it's
doubt.
like there's less accountability in tattooing now, you know? So it's like it's really up to a client and a collector to do your research. And I'd like stress that just not as a tattoo shop owner or even someone in tattooing, but just like, man, you see like it changes people's confidence and like they're, like if you value yourself, you want to have a nice tattoo, right?
Yeah,
When it's like, like sometimes we rush into stuff, do stuff spontaneously. That's cool, but for sure, it's like something that you have to live with. And I've seen it like really affect people's confidence on like if they have something they really don't like. So it's worth like taking your time, researching artists, and like for sure look at people's portfolio, right? So
Some great advice for sure.
A little tidbit of advice.
Right?
yeah, for sure.
We mentioned a little bit too about earlier covering whole bodies and working with the body as far as designs. How has technology changed and helped you kind of achieve your bigger projects these days?
Yeah, man.
I'm sure
It's
it's come a
changed a
long way.
lot. Yeah, even since I started, right? A little Shaft interlude.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
Big shout out.
Big shout out today. We're drinking Shaft.
How's technology changed?
Oh,
since
technology.
Yeah, since you
Yeah.
started, and like, has it helped or hindered? I guess.
Dude, huge help.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So we used to basically use like coil machines, and guys still do, right?
Yeah.
So like the typical like, when you walk into a tattoo shop and everything's like, and it's like, you don't hear that as much. You come into our shop at least, and it's like, it's just like you hear the music playing or like just like a movie on or something, right? Because it's like, so it's switched from more of like a coil running off like magnets and springs and stuff to rotary machines. And
sick.
we used to be like plugged in electrically. Now we run off batteries, right? So it's like, you don't have to use a foot pedal. You're not clipped into a cord that's sitting on your toolbox. Rolling over it with your chair. Like everything's so much more efficient now.
Nice.
But also just like the way those machines have been engineered to work on skin, like the amount of trauma they used to cause, I think, especially like when you're looking at a style like, say like how I tattoo with like wall-to-wall color saturation. To do that 10 years ago even was so much more difficult with the older technology, I think.
Fair.
And yeah, honestly, I felt like my tattoos only really started improving and looking how I wanted them to look when I started experimenting with the newer technology, because it was more similar to airbrushing. Like you could layer stuff down way smoother and you could build stuff up way more gradually.
Cool.
And I mean, there's guys that could do it with coils. I was just never one of those guys. Like I would on it, and like you could finish tattooing on a Wednesday. Your machine's working perfectly. You come in on like a Thursday, and for some reason, like your equipment's not working the same. Like it was just like fickle. Like because there was
I've rebuilt several of them. Like I did a little stint at a tattoo shop, like just
crazy, man.
Just drawing and shit, like right after high school.
Right on.
And like because I knew how to solder really well.
It was like that too, man. Like soldering. We used to solder our own needles. Like you'd have to solder them in a jig and stuff.
That was the worst. Oh yeah, making your own shaders. I forgot about that.
Then you're inhaling flux.
Like that.
It was brutal, man. So you're getting like smoke in your eye trying to put these microscopic needles on a needle bar, and it was crazy.
Your clients waiting in the waiting room or
something.
I
usually do that before. Yeah. That's like usually the apprentice too, but
those old machines were just like. It was like so basic.
Yeah, it's 100-year-old technology. Like it was what they used for school alarm bells. Basically the same technology in a school alarm bell.
Alternating coils. It just and it just like pushes a bar. And that's it. It's just like a little.
It's genius for how long they kept it going, and like there's still machine builders, like guys that still make quality coil machines.
Oh, nice.
And for like the way a coil machine will lay down a line, or do like a traditional tattoo, they're still hard to compare to because they do that so well. What they do well, they do really well, but it's like for a style that's not exactly traditional or even neo-trad, it makes it more challenging, I think.
Well, I'm thinking of my tattoo, and when I got it applied, my outline, it's kind of an older school tattoo. And I remember it being real loud. Like it was that old school buzz.
It's intimidating too, man.
For sure. And it was probably, I think it was my 19th birthday. So it was, probably close to 20 years ago. But also like the outline is kind of raised, like still to this day. So skin trauma kind of plays into the design of the tattoo as well. Because I remember him saying you had to do the outline again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A second time, I think, because he wanted to achieve that effect. Is that like...
Yeah, or it just like maybe didn't heal as dark as he wanted it to or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like it definitely, and especially like if you're running your equipment like maybe too hard or like whatever too high, the needles are causing more trauma.
Yeah.
So it's gonna cause more scar tissue.
Dude, I follow this one page. Sorry, this is totally outside of the questions, but it's like like black tattoo something, and they solder together these huge shaders that are like 250 needles across, and they do these huge blacked out pieces. That's gnarly.
Yeah, that's actually like a pretty popular style now.
Well, for sure,
there's celebrities doing it.
I just read an article like Kat Von D, notorious TV tattooer, right? Covering all her tats for some reason. There was apparently some legal reason behind it.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Anyways. If somebody else owns her tattoos or like copy like that. So wild.
I don't know. How would that work as far as like say copywriting like an image of yours? Like, do you ever find people taking your images on social media or anything? Or misrepresenting themselves as your?
Yeah, man. You see it often for sure. Or even like setting up like full profiles and just pretending to be
For like scamming purposes or what?
Yeah. So they'll take like I've had guys like
try to take deposits on your behalf.
Take deposits through
wow.
PayPal.
Crazy.
Actually,
Wild.
successfully do it a couple times.
Shit.
And it sucks, man. And especially because we're dealing with a lot of like, especially international clients from like we're not having an in-person consult,
For sure.
right? So
Yeah,
they're
fair, yeah. I didn't
so
even know
they're
that.
doing everything through email. So if they say like these scammers, they set up like an email with like a 1-letter difference or like adding a exclamation mark or something,
okay, yeah.
and they didn't pick up on that, then all of a sudden they're sending a deposit. Luckily, PayPal's pretty good, and they'll
refund it. Yeah.
They've usually refunded and stuff, but it still sucks. And then also kind of like makes the guy that's supposed to do the tattoo look a little like it's like, bro, like I haven't even got tattooed by you yet, and I've already been scammed. Like it's like it's not a great look for.
Yeah,
It's
no
totally
doubt.
out of your control as well.
Yeah, so I think the best thing we can do is just like. What I have done is just tried to make new clients aware, like, hey man, just really read the email, make sure this is the only email I operate from.
Dude, I got scammed a couple weeks ago. It was so bad.
Man, it sucks because it's out there for everything now, right? So
It's wild.
The worst. What does your current setup look like? We mentioned in our introduction that you're on the pro team for Cheyenne Tattoo Equipment as well as Fusion Inc. What products of theirs are you using now?
For Cheyenne, mostly, I'm using their needles, like their cartridges. So that's another thing we've got in. When we were talking about technology,
right.
but yeah, like they basically went from like needles on a bar to interchangeable cartridges that
sick.
you can just like change out on the fly, right?
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, instead of having like 5 machines set up now, which we used to have to do, you have one machine that runs 5 different cartridges.
Oh, that's
Sick.
awesome.
Yeah, so you can switch from a liner to a shader to a magnum, which is basically like a flat brush, right? So, so I've been using their needles forever. I'm always messing around with different machines and stuff because I just like trying to find there's a ton of good equipment out there. It's
Do
just finding.
do you have gas gear acquisition syndrome? That's musicians get that often. It's I got like 9 guitars. I've got like a whole this whole rack back here and like another rack
For sure.
at home. There's like so much
Nice.
gear acquisition.
Yeah,
syndrome.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty common thing for tattooers, man.
Right.
Like we all have a drawer of like machines that we like to try out. And stuff.
Nice.
So, but yeah, like Cheyenne, they make machines and needles. So yeah, they've been an awesome sponsor for me for a lot of years. Fusion Inc. is for sure the ink I prefer. They're in a like family owned operated ink company out of California.
sweet.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Their inks like I think's definitely one of the highest grade, highest pigment load inks. So yeah, definitely love their stuff. I have a stencil sponsor that looks like honey. It's called
Sick.
Hornet. They've been awesome. I started using recently. Got on with a company called Fractal. And they basically have like a clip together. It's almost like a Lego system of your setup. So you have like your ink caps, what holds your cartridges,
I think I've seen
grease
those online. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
You customize it kind of how you
yeah,
like
you can
it.
custom build it almost like a Lego setup. So
sick.
just the
sick.
fact that it's like Lego every morning before I work, I'm like, yo, this is sweet.
A
For
little
sure.
nostalgic. you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I think those are and Deadly. They're a supplier out of Calgary, Deadly North. They kind of just get. It's just like general supply company.
Yeah, cool.
And then the bandaging, I use Tattoo Armor. So it's like, so much of healing, especially like a large saturated, especially after like multiple days, man, you have so
No
much
doubt.
open skin.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
no
Yeah.
doubt.
So the healing is super important and the safety. Like I always tell my clients, like, man, I consider it's my job till the tattoo's fully healed. Right? Like,
Yeah, fair.
and then, because
Yeah.
like, who cares what it looks like the day of, man? It has to heal well, right?
Your
So-
name's on it, right?
yeah, and like walking around, then they're walking around with it. So you obviously want it to be like as perfect of a heal as we can get.
Yeah.
So over the years, that's changed so much too. Technology of healing, but it honestly, the way I look at it now is you're not trying to heal the tattoo, you're healing the skin. So
Yeah.
like as long as it's technically done right, a tattoo's usually going to heal, but you can either make it really hard or way easier. So
Yeah.
As far as your application of the tattoo can make it easier to heal or harder to heal?
well, that too,
Or
but
the
also
aftercare.
just the aftercare and the before care. So like,
Okay.
like super stressed to my clients now, like taking care of their skin like weeks, months before, or even taking like omegas, like vitamins, stuff like this.
I was so hungover when I got tattooed.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've all been there.
Yeah.
But it sucks, man. It sucks, right? So I think that part I think has changed a lot too in the technology and stuff. Yeah, man. But that's basically the gear I'm using these days.
Yeah, sick.
So yeah, man, they're all super cool companies. They've all definitely and then we cross market each other and stuff, so it's pretty cool. And then, you know, as we work maybe like conventions internationally or even in Canada, other artists will come check out what we're using. So it's like a
so other artists that respect you will come and ask you what you like and what you're using.
And see why you're using it. And you know, and then so it's it helps them out pushing their product, and also it helps us out because we're getting to use a good product. And I always say, like, anything I'm using or I'm sponsored by or that I like rep, I would buy it anyways. If they weren't a sponsor, I'd still buy it because I'm only going to use stuff I believe in at this point, right? Like, it's got to be basically the thing that works the best for me to create what I want to create.
That's sick.
So, yeah.
Fair enough.
That's the best endorsement you can get right there.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Trying to paint a Picasso with dollar store paints, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
makes it harder.
Yeah, way harder.
For sure, yeah. Definitely.
So how do you decide when a piece is finally finished? Like you said earlier, you might be your own biggest critic and maybe tortured artist syndrome a little. Maybe not syndrome, but you kind of torture yourself as an artist a little bit, right?
For sure, yeah.
How do you know when that last stroke's been done?
Yeah, like for painting or tattooing?
Either or. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for both, it's like I go through steps like this. Everything, it's like any other job. You just go through steps to completion.
Like visual checkpoints, maybe?
Yeah, like visual checkpoints, saturation. Like, is it looking like I use reference for tons of stuff, right?
For
like
sure.
Whether it's like comics, pop culture, when I'm doing more, like my paintings usually are based like more on realism and stuff. So I'm using like, say like for, like say this Call of Duty painting or this mask, I'm using like an actual barong mask as a reference.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, like or like a tiger, whatever, right?
I've seen these two before. I've never seen this one before. That one.
Oh, okay.
They're all incredible,
Thanks,
but
man.
that mask
Appreciate
one is very.
After we traveled Bali, I came back and painted that one just from like being inspired by just the cool architecture and the sculpting and stuff there, sculptures.
So how long does, say, like a full-size canvas like that take you to complete from start to finish?
Some of them will be like 40 hours, and some can be like 80. So.
And how do you pace that over the course of what, like 6 months or?
Man, I used to try to finish like a painting a month.
Yeah, that's huge.
And then now with my tattooing just being so involved, and then obviously I have a family, and it's taken me a lot of years to like figure out work-life balance.
100%.
Get home and shut off instead of.
Yeah, and it's not just the tattooing, but it's like being driven by art, and then obviously being a business owner as well and stuff. It's like, I think over especially the last like 3, 4, or 5 years, I've realized the importance of just like balance.
Yeah.
And we've always like traveled and stuff and made time to do family stuff, but it's like just enjoying the little moments at home, and even just like, just remembering like, man, why are you doing all this if it's not like for the people you love and that are important to you, right?
It's easy to get carried away in your own project, especially when it's something that you're that.
And I'm like
passionate.
obsessive, man. Like, it's not even passion, it's like an obsession.
Enough,
man, like maybe so like for sure it like satisfies something in my brain that's like maybe like borderline, like I don't know, like just like it's hard for me to focus on stuff, and then art is just one thing I can just like focus on, and like nothing else really kind of distracts me. So it's like almost like I don't know, it's hard to explain.
I've talked about this before too, and like maybe like in myself, like a little bit ADD. Like I love doing sports that you can't think of anything else, right? Like snowboarding. Maybe in your art, you get so locked in that there's no other thought that can come in your head because you're so focused on the task at hand, right?
Or even if there's a thought there, it's like it's outweighed by like, okay, man, this is the next step. This is what I have to do. But I think going back to what you're saying about like, how do I know what's finished? Is just like it is a bit of a feeling, but it's also like especially in tattooing, because I work if I'm doing like a side of a leg over 3 days, I'll start at the top and work down.
Yeah.
So it's basically like that area is saturated. It looks like so much of I think we were talking about this a bit before, but like so much of tattooing is based on your concept and your creation before you actually apply the tattoo, right?
Right.
So yeah, like before I even start like a project, I already have like 5 to 10 hours, maybe not 10, but at least 5 hours of like concept design, finding like references. Like there's a lot of research and time that goes into tattooing that you don't actually see. That's all the behind the scenes. Same with probably what you guys do, obviously, right?
Well, I was gonna make that parallel. Yeah, like a lot of the work is done behind the scenes, and when you show up to shoot, it's just doing the act of what you prepared
but
for.
You've
right?
already put hours in before.
100%. So you kind of have that plan.
Totally.
Yeah,
and if you don't, it shows. And same in tattooing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you get out of it what you put into it.
Let's talk about the business side of things a little bit.
For sure.
How do you make it all work, keeping your creativity, but still also keeping the lights on and owning a shop in a not so cheap place to do so?
Yeah, the Bow Valley, having a business.
For
sure.
Having a storefront business in the Bow Valley is just like, it's a next level of achievement because it's an expensive place to do business.
Yeah.
And of course, you want to keep fun, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think I've always, like, this is our 11th year of having the shop. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
That's sick.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, definitely wasn't all me. Like, everybody that's worked here over the years has all played a part in that, too, right? So, huge shout out to everybody that's been here over the years, right? But yeah, I think just keeping the vibe, man, conducive for creativity. Like to me, that's always been number one, and like a place where, like we have a lot of like friends, guest artists that come in from other places, other parts of Canada, other places in the world, and it's just I always, in my mind, I always wanted it to be a place where any artist felt like they could come and create.
Cool.
So I think keeping that the main thing, but still, obviously, it has to be profitable.
Yeah, of course.
Like maybe the shop itself isn't profitable, but it's like, you know, I need a place to work too. So as long as it's like give me a place to work and then a home to other artists too, then it's like it's sustainable really, right? So
for those that may not know, right, it's kind of more independent contractor based. So say you own this shop, but then you're not like paying a salary to your artist to come in. They kind of run their own books and make their own money, right?
Very similar to like say like a barber shop or something this. It's like everybody kind of just like rents a chair, right? And it, you know, like specifically, I almost rent a chair too. Like we're all just under one roof. But the Electric Grizzly name, I think just the fact we've been here a long time and I think in the Canadian tattoo industry, we've built a good reputation just with the artists we've had work here, and then like our guest artists, our friends that come visit and work out of here too, are some of the best artists in Canada. So I think, that all helps, and then obviously social media presence, stuff like that, has kept us like pretty busy. But yeah, I think just like sustainability, as far as like, you have to have a good crew, people that can work together. We're like in not a huge place, so like so much of it's about like the right combination of personalities.
Do you ever turn people away?
Wanted to work here. Yeah, man. I mean, like most of the time, it's honestly like friends of friends. Like, it's a big industry, but a small industry. Yeah. So now, like, even my buddy Felipe that works beside me, he came from a shop in Toronto. My other buddy that's worked with us like over the last 10 years, he's in Quebec, Paul, but like a lot of his friends have come to work with us through him because he travels and tattoos at a lot of different shops. So it's like, I know he's a good dude, so I know any of his friends are going to be cool too. So it's like so much of it's like
reference based.
Yeah, it's like word of mouth, and then man, like usually we'll have somebody come do a guest spot, and then if they fit the vibe for like a week, 2 weeks, you know, and then maybe they come back a couple more times, then like we'll be like, yeah, man, like you fit in good here, and let's try it out, you know. Nice. So
is part of that like finding different styles that complement each other? So say people focusing on stuff that you don't focus on, or is it just whatever more people you want to hang out with?
Yeah, for me, it's always more been like people I want to hang out with.
Sick.
But it's always kind of worked out that for the most part, it's been, and I would say that in the Bow Valley as a whole, is like we all kind of do something different, which I think makes it a really cool community. And we were talking about that earlier, but I think like the fact that we have a pretty special community in the Valley, that we're all friends. Like if if somebody's looking for a piece that specifically I don't do or somebody else in the shop, then I'll send them to like one of my other buddies at one of the other shops, right?
We were talking about that a little bit off camera. It seems like the tattoo scene, especially here in the Bow Valley, seems to be more based off collaborativeness than competition.
Yeah,
which is kind of the opposite than a lot of businesses in the Bow Valley.
For sure. And yeah, I think that's a pretty unique but also like it's created a really cool tattoo culture in the valley.
For sure.
Right? So I think we all want to be here too for like, I think you want to come to the mountains because you're looking for something different, right?
Yeah.
So I think most of the people here are like, we're not looking for like some type of like competition or like, you know, city politics stuff. Sometimes you see in like big cities or whatever, right? Yeah. So yeah, like we'll all get together and have like fires, like, you know, everybody that tattoos in the valley, or like we'd be like, hey man, do you want to come to our Christmas party? Like stuff like that.
Sick.
You know, so, and a lot of us have worked together over the years or done collaborations. Veron's shop, like Aurora Tattoo, she worked with me for like years. Eric owns Vortex. He worked with me for years too before.
Is that like a proud moment for you to see someone that you've worked with like go on and do their own thing?
Dude, it's awesome, man. For sure. Because it's exactly what I did.
For sure.
You know?
Right?
So it's like, and I think that's another thing that's changed in my view since like starting tattooing and being a business owner to now over the years is like realizing everything's like a bit of it's always going to be a transition, and that's okay. Like it's always going to evolve and change.
For sure.
You know, and I think over like the decade we've been here, we've had like, you know, maybe 3-4 different crews or like different combinations of people. And I think I used to look at that as like some maybe type of like, you know, like I didn't do this right or that right to keep this crew together. But it's like, man, we all evolve in different directions, and innately like artists we're somewhat of a nomadic, like we're always looking for a new inspiration.
For sure.
You know?
I mean, it's a very specific type of person that creates art on that scale, right?
Yeah. So, and I mean, we're all a little unique would be the word, like artists and creative people in general.
For sure.
Right. So it's I think it took me a while to realize that's not like a form of failure. That's maybe even more a form of success. Like when somebody feels like they can go from working beside me or in the shop and then expand to something new, and maybe even like I think on 3 or 4 occasions they've gone and opened their own businesses, which to me that's sick, man.
I think that's just a real good mirror of your own success in the sense that you've put them in a position where they can go and do it themselves. Whereas like if you look in other lines of business, like the boss would try to keep people from doing that to keep a good employee. So I think it's like business ethically, like that's super cool that you do that, man. Honestly, it's I'd take that as a sign of success for sure.
Yeah, man. I think I didn't see it like that at the start, but I definitely hope to see it like that now, which is cool, right?
100%, man. As we're talking about success, what does success look like for you being a tattoo shop owner, not just financially, but culturally?
Yeah, that's a good question, man, for sure. I think we kind of already touched on that a little, but
we kind of did, right?
I think the culture of the community here, to me, it's huge, man. Like just the fact that it's more of like a family community based. If we see each other out in town, it's like, dude, how are you doing? Or, you know, like we'll share a meal together. We'll all sit around a fire. You know, we're all busy, so it's not like it happens every week.
For sure.
But you know what? And then, you know, we'll see each other at different conventions, or we've had a full Canmore booth at the Calgary show before where it was like our shop, New World Samurai. I think some of the girls from Banff, like Leah and Rose, worked with us. So it's like
sick.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's very more community based, and like we're all trying to support each other and build something special here, man. And I think that hopefully that is the culture here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like I think we all do something different, man. So we're all trying to push each other.
Right.
And if you know, I'm not saying there's not competition, but I think it's friendly competition that we're all trying to evolve together, right? So I think that to me is kind of like the cool part of the Bow Valley.
For sure. Like a focus on growth and like supporting each other, especially in art. Like it's its own kind of vibe. Like you don't see that across other business mediums, which is kind of why I wanted to get your perspective on that specifically.
Yeah.
When it comes to your art, how would you like people to remember your art when you're no longer around to explain it? Because obviously this art's going to last a long time after we're gone.
the canvas is longer than the tattoos, I guess.
Well, that's
right?
like, have you ever thought about that even? Like,
Dude, for
permanence
sure.
in your art?
Yeah, the permanence. Yeah, because like when you look at tattooing, you're like, that is the permanent art form.
Right.
But actually painting is the more outlasting.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
it's like, yeah, and like, you know, sad to say, like I've already had like some of my clients and friends like that, you know, they've maybe with with tattoos, with artwork. So it's like, there is a bit of finality to that.
True.
You know?
I didn't even think of that, man. That's
yeah,
crazy.
so it can be pretty heavy, right?
Definitely.
But I think my main thing, man, is just like, I guess what I hope is the lasting impression is that it just like makes people happy, man. Like,
Yeah.
especially where I'm at now, like, you know, maybe not as much with the, like, well, with tattooing for sure, is just like, you know, like a lot of it's based on like childhood stuff, nostalgia, like pop culture. Like this is things that make me happy from like what I remember as a kid, as a teenager, but still now, like, you know what I mean? Like obviously a nerd, so I still read comic books.
Yeah,
like
same, yeah.
I still watch cartoons, stuff like this. So it's like, yeah, I just think, yeah, I'd like to think most of my work like is pretty positive,
100%,
based on positive
yeah.
stuff. And it's like, to me, like that's what I get enjoyment from.
It's
So-
cool that like you've had a positive experience with, say, that medium, and you get to pass that on to someone else who shares that same kind of passion. I think.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's
Pretty cool.
maybe a niche group, you know, especially
the nerds.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man,
mean, it's
nerds,
pretty big
we're
now.
coming back now.
Yeah,
We're
we're
coming back. It's popular now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's cool to be a nerd. Now.
Yeah, no, yeah.
When
no.
we were in high school,
No,
like
hell no.
I'm 40 this year, like
Yeah.
it wasn't as cool then.
Yeah, I'll
So-
be,
In the 90s, it was a little bit different, for
Yeah,
sure.
so-
yeah, high school was interesting.
Yeah. But if we knew now what we, you know,
Oh,
if we
yeah.
knew then what we know now, we'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, dude,
We'd be sad.
yeah, should have kept all those like
Oh, yeah,
old
should've
issue
kept
comic
all- oh, yeah,
books,
everything.
Pokemon cards.
yeah.
Dude, Magic cards. Yeah,
Oh, I know. I
crazy.
just like threw out like so many of them when I moved out and like went to college. I'm just like,
Yeah.
whatever.
They just get lost along
Yeah.
the way. Right?
20 years later, you're like, should have kept those.
Oh, for sure, man. I know.
So keep all your
Hindsight.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Hoard all
Yeah,
of your
hoarding.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different episode.
Yeah, for sure. How can people access your art if they're kind of interested? Obviously, commission based
For sure.
only these days, slightly different than a traditional tattoo shop.
Yeah, man. Yeah, kind of. I just like for as far as tattooing goes, I just kind of open my books like once a year, twice a year, something like this. But through email for sure. But like my website, if you want to like check out like art canvas based or anything, so it's just drkturcotteart.com. And then just Instagram, like all the social media stuff is just DRK Turcotte.
Yeah,
So,
make sure you
yeah,
give them
you
a
can-
follow.
Thanks, man.
No worries.
But yeah, appreciate you guys taking time to talk to me too, man.
Dude, great to finally meet you. Yeah, I've met a few of your canvases before. We've actually interviewed one of your canvases before, and I'll tell you, everyone that has your art on is very proud of that. So,
Oh, that's cool, man. That's
yeah,
good to
people
hear.
speak highly of their experience, and
Okay.
of course, the art as well. So,
Sweet, man.
you got lots to be proud of there.
Thanks, bro.
Time to move on to our new segment. You didn't hear it from us. We're in Canmore today, so it's kind of on brand as well. If you've been enjoying the outside music festivals going on in Banff, there is a big event coming to Canmore in the next few days, or next few weeks, sorry. February 13th, the winter needs a proper warm-up, and Canmore's got one coming. The winter warm-up is the iteration of the Canmore Folk Fest that's going on. So Friday, February 13th, I think there's 4 or 5 different venues with live music. Starts at the Civic Center from 4 to 8. That one is free, family friendly. It's kind of like a block party situation going on. Fire pits, marshmallow roasting, glowing ice castle, and live DJ vibes. There's also the roving Bow Valley Circus. They were in Banff last week. I'm telling you, like some live circus performers.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff. If you want access to the whole thing, it's only $40, and you can get these little wristbands. They'll get you into every single venue hosting events.
Nice, okay.
Stay tuned to our social media. We'll have more for that. Let us know what you think in the comments. And remember, you didn't hear it from us. That's all the time we got for today. Derek, thanks again so much for taking the time to chat with us, man. This has been
Thanks,
awesome,
man.
man.
Appreciate you, brother.
that was great.
Appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you've been a fixture of the Bow Valley for a long time. Like I said, like I heard about you when I first moved to Banff. So to kind of see your progression through your own art and be
Appreciate it,
sitting
man.
here in your shop today is kind of a cool moment for me. So yeah, thank you so
man.
much for
Appreciate
having
you,
us.
dude. For sure.
If it's your first time joining us, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. 70% of people join us for the first time and don't subscribe. So do us a favor. If it's your first time, it would mean a lot to us and help us bring you more episodes like this. Special shout out to Drink Shaft. Thank you so much for keeping us energized and fueled up for this episode. A special shout out to Electric Grizzly. Make sure you go give them a follow on their social media as well. And like every week, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Peace.